What is up, YouTube? Alright, so I got some cool news for tonight. DayZ, the developers, have released their newest dev blog, releasing a new video and information. I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of the information they released, the text information, talking about what improvements are being made for the standalone, which we are all anxiously awaiting, hopefully to come out soon. As for the video right here, I will be putting a link for it. It is off of Dean Hall's YouTube page for you people that haven't heard or seen of it yet. So what in the video they basically demonstrate like how where the loot's going to be spawning. They demonstrate a little bit of the player skins, like just how they're going to pick stuff up and change it out. I feel like it's an integrated mix of the old DayZ, everything that was good about it, along with Arma 3's new engine. For those of you who have played the alpha, I believe that the inventory and the clothing style, like how you can drop and add clothes, is from Arma 3. As for what they've added here outside of the video, is and once again they bring up the inventory system and how much improvement they've made to it, and how now it supports crafting, interchangeable clothing, degradation, tracking, weapon customization, and much more. That's awesome. I'm excited for that, including the crafting. Not sure exactly like all the cool things we'll be able to do with that, but I mean like it sounds really awesome. And then they go more in depth on crafting here. Basics: how users can interact with the items in the world. The next step in the development of our inventory system is beyond where it is now. It's not a traditional crafting system, but encourages layers to explore ways which items can be crafted. I remember in the video they bring up something about steam cooking, or cooking, like building some kind of thing to cook with. And outside of that, they also talk about zombie pathfinding right here, and they talk about how in the end of the video you can see how the pathfinding has changed. They show a pretty cool like video, like showing you how the zombie will follow you, how it used to be, and how it is now, which awesome, like looks great, looks phenomenal. Like finally they're not just sprinting erratically at you. It feels a lot more natural. In the video, they only show the older zombie models that we're all used to and love/hate. But because they haven't gotten their new skeleton in, they say in the video that the new skeleton is coming in. By that I mean the new zombie, basically, with all new animations, the one that's going to look realistic from the last dev blog if you guys haven't seen it. And they also brought up mass zombie spawning in the video as well. And what they talked about is right now on the server they are running 3,000 zombies, which I was wowed by, because before, like, the servers that do have the zombie counter would say about like maximum I've seen is probably like 600-700. But that's because before they would spawn as you went, and that's how you used it as a cheap trick, me included, of figuring out if people were in the area. Now they're all going to be pre-spawned in, but I was kind of afraid of that because I felt like that's going to slap my frames across the face, and just I'm gonna be running like pictures. But from what I've heard, from what they said, it runs fine. And as you can read here, the initial test of 4,000 spawned reduced the FPS to 4, which is what I expected. But then they raised it to 21, and they're confident they can get it to 30 plus with the maximum zombies. But I mean, 3,000 zombies, that's gonna be crazy that they're always there, and now they're gonna be roaming on their own instead of just like roam. So they're gonna be like kind of migrating, which is awesome because now you're gonna be like not knowing where to find these zombies. They'll be everywhere. Now you're not just gonna be like, oh, there they are, spawning inside of that farmhouse, spawning inside of that next to that grocery store. They talked about the health system, and I don't think they touched on this in the video. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they talk about expanding it far beyond just blood into a system that incorporates health, blood, and consciousness level. I think that's awesome because it makes it even deeper than it already is, and there's no game that's matched it before, but now it pushes the boundary even further. The Sureness expansion, oh, it's great. They talk about the new expansion, Sureness. It's much bigger now. They added more cities. The city they showcased, which I think might be Cherno, they said, looks awesome. It feels much more like a real city than just the little like industrial town that we know as Cherno, which is probably the biggest town in the game unless Electro is. And I think that looks awesome. It's just gonna have much more of like an urban feel on top of the already giant nature feel that we get by running through miles of lush forests. They talked about the loot spawning, which they've talked about before, and they once again displayed it on how now it spawns in cars, and now you're actually going to have to go inside the house and look in crevices, corners, on top of refrigerators, everything. The interiors of all the buildings are awesomely designed. It just looks great. Now you're not just going to look in the same piles that you're used to in like the same corners. You're actually going to have to search for your loot, and it can be hidden. And the video right now, they only have beans and clothing, but there will be much variety. And yeah, then they just basically concluded the video, and they're talking about how we want the standalone, but they're just working on it. Yeah, we've heard it before. Come on, guys, like give us a date at least. Like we were all excited about the December release, but that didn't happen, and that's okay with me. I'm happy with them improving the game, but like I just want to know when it's coming. So I'm ready. I'm buying it minute it comes out. I don't know about you guys. But yeah, that's basically about it. Once again, I'll be adding the link to the video itself that they posted, so you can check it out and see what the gameplay looks like of them and some of the Reddit users, moderators. And yeah, that's about it.